And I will fetch a morsel of meat, bread, and comfort ye your heart. After thee, after that ye shall pass on. For therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, so do as thou hast said. This is verse Genesis chapter 18, verse 5. And Abraham had hasted into the tent unto Sarah and said, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran into the herd and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. And he took the butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. So, when you're taking your cross reference with this part here, with Exodus chapter 3, verse 1, start there. And Moses seen him as a burning bush, and when they ate taken on food here, this tells you, listen at what the word God is telling us, that the angels had a versatile body. Because they had to have it coming into the genetic generator field, coming into the earth, because the generator field, when they're coming into the earth, it's blazing hot. So they had to have a body where they can transform themselves after they get here, come in through the generator field as a fire. But when they come down here, they take on flesh and can take on food. So by them being angels, having a transformable body and not completely of the flesh, they could not have had a pigmentation count as part of their chemical makeup of their body. They was like humans when they came here in the blood. So by them not having any pigmentation count, I got this image here. I don't know whether the glare of the light is going to stop you from seeing this, but I got a solid white image of a man right here. And if he bared a child to the daughters of Cain. Right here. And when that did, what that did was, it created a secondary man on the face of the earth, and this man was not in the book of life. And the reason God gave us in Genesis chapter 6 the significant part where he spoke concerning the angel, God knew, was letting us know that not by the male was Cain preserved, but by a female, which was caused by the sons of God who bear children unto the daughters of men. And that female would be one of the females who had a low pigment count because her father, who she was fathered by, didn't have a pigmentation. And saying that was, this female or this family could not migrate down here in Africa from where the first man was created unless they became consumed by melanoma cancer. Caused by the daily heat rays of the sun penetrating the outer skin and that destroying the inner organ. So these peoples had to migrate up to the north, and this is where I put here this woman, this male, this female, this son of God, which was the mother, married this woman. He produced a first white male, female right here. Jephthah married this woman, brought her on the ark. Once he brought her on the ark, this created a diversity by new amount of people who was not in the book of life because of the mother. The mother had, because of their mother. And this would give you a mixed race person to a white race person. Now, this is where we're going with this. And now, Genesis chapter 10. This was Japheth, and we'll find the location, genetic code of the location where they were. This will give you all of the people where the migration point is. They give you this part here. Okay, Genesis chapter 10, 1-5. I'm gonna give you the migration part of Jephthah. It says, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, chapter 10, 1-5. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Unto them were sons born after the flood. 10:2-5. The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, and Madi, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiras. 10:3. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Repam, and Togarmah. 10:4. And the sons of Javan, Elijah, and Tarsha, Kittam, and Dudam. Genesis 10:5, the last part. By these were the isles of the Gentiles, divided in their land, every one after their tongue, after their families, in their nations. And the United States, Great Britain, and all the peoples who have fathers of the white race of the Gentiles came from that pedigree, which was caused by the fallen angels, who had a father who was the son brother of Shem and Ham, Japheth. They migrated to the north. You find the geographic location. I got all these here people with the high low pigment count up here at the map. This is the Mediterranean Sea. This is the Persian Gulf. This is the Red Sea. This is the problem that we have. So all of this, from South Turkey all the way across, was a predominant peoples of the black race. From here, from Turkey, right here, all the way down here in Africa, Saudi Arabia, all around Elam, Syria, Assyria, all these places, Egypt, Israel, all of here, all of these was peoples of the black race. But where did they all go? Because we see a vast number of the genetic color code, the traits of the color code, have been diluted in here and became a mixed race people all the way from here, all the way down here in parts of Africa. What this tells us, in some form of fashion, there have been a genocide taking place. Once this nation became adept to the condition and came with it in the laboratories, came with a chemical where they can make a shot, so an operation where they can inject themselves with something, or find a way to keep from being exposed from the dense heat rays in this region here. They began to migrate either through a genetic interbreeding with the peoples of color. They began to migrate and consume this plant. Some having high pigment count because of how they migrated down this point. This is why it's essential for me to show you this part here, because it has something to do with Daniel chapter 11. So I decided to go and take and break this down, show you what have happened here. When I go back to Daniel chapter 11 and break it down and bring it down to this here and show you what it is. That's the reason I created this chart. I had to go back to the first beginning to show you what the genetic color code was. But the genetic color code here with Shem and Ham, these was 100% black. They had a wives who was of the black race, because that's why they was able to migrate both side by side down here and not up here. And when I get to this next part, okay, now I'm gonna have to show you what had happened, because it had something to do with Alexander the Great. Daniel chapter 11. Isaiah chapter 7 has something to do with Alexander the Great. Peoples who came from this is the white horse here. This is how the white horse of Revelation came to be, but the black horse would come from here in Revelation. But you'll also have this white horse. You'll see a symbol, the white horse, the red horse, and the pale horse in Revelation chapter 6. But the red horse is